swear you cannot make this up. While facing an ongoing investigation, Baby Drill, with the rest of 4L, which possibly might end up having a RICO investigation, thought it would be a good idea to ride around the ops hood in Allen Temple apartment, West Atlanta, basically posted up for a video shoot taunting their top ops PFK, man.
What? Ghost town. And we do this every day.
If the feds ever wanted to lock these people up, they basically got an instruction manual on IG Live detailing all their crimes step by step. Man, we gotta get into this whole situation and the beef that spawned this crash out attitude right now. But before we do, man, I'm gonna need you to like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna run up this video, man. Make sure y'all run up the merch too. Link in the description at staysafeworld.com. Gonna be dropping new stuff on there. And make sure y'all tap into notification gang so whenever I post, y'all are tuned in right away, man. So let's get into this right now. Several diss tracks later, several allegations of murder later, several charges later, several arrests later, several bonding out situations later, and now being able to be free, and we're back at square one because Baby Drill is on a crazy self-snitching tour. One of the craziest self-snitching eras I've ever seen in rap music, man. And it all sort of came ahead today when Baby Drill, 2 Feet Bino, and basically all the dudes from 4L like Mew Baby and them pulled up to the Allen Temple apartment complex area in Atlanta and decided to film a music video / go on IG Live and basically drive around with guns showing, looking for the ops, saying it was a ghost town. Arriving in 5 bulletproof Suburbans, pulling up in the ops hood just to taunt them. I swear, bro, you cannot make this up. But this situation has been ongoing for years now. They've been basically trading back and forth, and a lot of people are going to feel some type of way about this situation. Basically a crazy sign of disrespect to a rival gang. And this isn't even no local shit, because their gangs and their areas that they live in are like 30 minutes away from each other in different complete parts of Atlanta, man. If you didn't know, PFK versus 4L, one of the craziest beefs in Atlanta, and it's one of the quietest because a lot of people, like, when they think of Atlanta beef, they think of Young Thug and YSL and YFN, but really the 4L PFK beef has been one of the craziest things that I've ever actually seen in a while. And you're not gonna believe how it all started and why they were there in the first place, man. So we got to get into the backstory a little bit.
The father of an Atlanta rapper found to death in his car is begging anyone who can help police find who told his son to come forward. Channel 2's Michael Seiden is live for us in downtown Atlanta outside police headquarters. And Michael, this murder happened 3 years ago and you just got an update from investigators.
PFK, or Play for Keeps, the acronym that it stands for, is a gang based out of the west side of Atlanta. There's a lot of different areas that basically make up that gang, and there's a lot of different artists from that gang such as DB Muerta, and probably the biggest that y'all have heard of, Lil Marlo. Lil Baby's close friend and collaborator who was actually signed to Quality Control, but unfortunately met his end in July of 2020. In the summer of 2020, right as COVID was going on, he was basically gunned down, man. And that story is honestly super crazy and sort of relates to the whole situation that is ongoing today.
Before midnight on July 11th, when officers responded to a single vehicle accident on I-285 South, just west of downtown near the Benjamin E. Mays Drive overpass, police discovered Marlo shot to death inside his car. At the time, authorities told us he was the intended target.
On July 11, 2020, officers responded to a single vehicle incident on Interstate 285 South, just west of downtown near the Benjamin E. Mays Drive overpass. Police discovered Marlo, aka Rudolph Johnson, his full name, shot to death inside his car at the time. Authorities believe he was the intended target, but the motive remains under investigation. Since his death, however, there have been a number of different people blamed for this incident. Some of the most notable being Capo Nuke, which was a Goodfella Mob associate that allegedly Lil Marlo put money on his head, and he ended up getting gunned down too. But the craziest person that basically got blamed for this situation, and most notable that y'all will probably heard of, is Baby Drill, who dropped a lot of different hits and songs referring to his death, and you're not gonna believe how blatant he really was. And he ties into this whole situation that went on last night, which is crazy, man. So let's get into that. In this era of rappers crashing out, it seems like it's damn near a race to the bottom. And these dudes have no remorse, no guilt while doing it, man. I swear. And Baby Drill is like one of the main culprits, and the dudes around him are basically egging him on. But man, on top of driving through the PFK hoods with guns, looking out for ops while making a music video, you know, that's already incriminating enough. Baby Drill has basically been known to throw disses in the direction for a minute. The crazy is being an unreleased song that basically taunted the people who signed Lil Marlo, saying that they should have put bulletproofing on his car. And at the same time, this made a lot of people wonder what they were referring to, you know, in that song. Because Lil Marlo, as I said before, got hit up in a situation where his car was basically sprayed in the highway, you know. It could also be referring to another shooting, you know, the Grady Scott situation that occurred in Atlanta that Baby Drill actually got accused of doing, you know. He was actually arrested for that, and that's the current murder that he's on, because that involved the whole shooting that also had someone in a car in a Range Rover hit up. But it really had people zoom in on the whole quality control Lil Marlo situation, because I guess P from Quality Control is known to give his artists whips. So he was basically saying, you know, you should have had a bulletproof car, you know, because that's what they be riding in now. But it really does seem like this self-snitching is a race to the bottom right now, and no one really cares as long as it gets views, you know. You think that the connections that these artists have, you know, Baby Drill being signed to 4L, PDE, being cool with 21 Savage and Young Nudie, that they wouldn't have to do this crazy ass type of activity to get views and clicks on their music when their stuff be going up regardless. However, driving around with your guns out the window looking for ops is definitely not going to make your case look any better, because he's still out on bond and being investigated for that Grady Scott incident. And at the same time, the Lil Marlo murder is still not closed. So, you know, of course they're going to have a response from PFK, and that definitely came out, and you're not really gonna believe what they said either. Since all the members of 4L basically posted this criminal behavior on the internet, several members of PFK such as DBO Morta and Omerta Jr. have basically come out, said that they be riding around their hoods too looking for them. They don't just be on the internet. And I guess it's a good thing that they don't be self-snitching, but they literally just self-snitch in saying that. If anything were to happen, the feds would have the easiest job ever finding out who did what, because it probably would be posted on someone's Instagram live. Honestly, this could be the craziest promo stunt ever, and Baby Drill could have nothing to do with the death of Marlo, because, you know, I made a whole video on that, actually describing how it could have been a whole situation with the Goodfella mob and everything like that. But at that point, who's really gonna care if someone ends up getting hit up, you know? It's really a race to the bottom, because they're trying to like promote their music at the same time while still being in the streets. It's not gonna work out, man. You see what happened to Lil Marlo, and you see what happened to YFN Lucci, you see what happened to Young Thug. Every time that someone tries to be in the streets while making music, it catches up to them, especially with the DA Fannie Willis going out of her way trying to end this type of crazy activity. It's just not looking good on their part, just crashing out like this. But you know, I feel like they saw that the relevancy that they had recently was going off because of the fact that they were embroiled in all these allegations of murder, and they saw their views going crazy. So they were like, hey man, we might as well just crash out for the views, because otherwise people might not listen to our music, which is crazy because all their music is pretty good like that. But at the end of the day, man, it really just seems that it's gonna end up somebody dying or someone going to jail, and they've already died and someone has already gone to jail. So it's like, it's probably only going to get worse if this keeps going. I'm glad to see that that Baby Drill's whole situation has changed now, and he'd be riding around in bulletproof whips and everything like that. So it's probably going to be harder for him to get hit up in a situation like that. But at the same time, anyone can be touched. especially in the city of Atlanta, man. Why would you want to drive around and have to look over your shoulder every single day, having to worry about the ops, having to worry about the police, having to worry about the DA and stuff like that? Wouldn't you rather just want to live a peaceful life and move out of the city? You know, that's what people would think, but I guess that makes too much sense, man. But hey, let me know in the comments what y'all think. Real say shit. You already know what's going on. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Peace.